What's up, guys? If you're interested in some of the budget-based options in the RC car world, then make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, because that's what this channel is all about. And I'm hoping that this Bezgar HP163S that Bezgar just sent to me is going to fit the bill perfectly. Hey, Future Jim here. Great Scott! I had forgotten to mention that although this was provided by Bezgar, they are not paying me to make this video, and they have no say whatsoever in how I do this video and what I say about the vehicle. So, if it sucks, I'm going to be sure to let you know. But spoiler alert, it doesn't really like it. Keep watching. So far, it looks like a pretty good RC, but I really want to dig in and take a look. Overall, you can see this really looks like some of the larger ARRMA Truggies, except somebody left it in the dryer too long. At 1/16th scale, it's obviously a whole lot smaller and a whole lot less expensive than some of those ARRMA options. Overall, though, I think it looks great, and it comes with this rear wing that you can choose to install or not, and it even comes with this wheelie bar that you can choose to install or not. I kind of like how it looks without the wing, but I wanted to start off with everything fully assembled. The graphics on the body look pretty good, and it's even got a front bumper with a built-in LED light that we'll go over shortly. The tires feel like they've got a pretty good tread pattern overall, and I'm hoping that we're going to get good traction out of it. You can see this is the box it comes in. There's nothing overly special about the box, but I did want to show you guys just so you can see exactly what you're going to get. Inside the box, it comes with a whole lot of stuff, and I want to go over that too. Now, first and foremost, not only does it come with a battery installed in the vehicle, but it actually comes with a second battery. And I can't think of a single RC car that I've ever gotten that actually comes with two batteries. And especially in this budget range, I think that's really cool, because it gives you obviously more runtime, and it just gives you the opportunity to keep the fun going without having to buy more stuff. One thing you might notice about this battery right away is that this is a pretty unique design, and it mounts into the chassis very securely. Now, overall, I'm usually not a fan of proprietary style batteries, because it means when your battery goes, or if you lose one, you have to buy exactly the same battery again, if it's even available anymore. But one cool thing about this, even though it's a somewhat proprietary design, it does use a standard Dean style plug. And because of that, you're going to be able to use other batteries with minimal modifications. So let's get the lid off and take a look at what's underneath this, because I think that's really where this vehicle has a lot to show. Now, once we get the lid off, you can see right away I've got this battery installed, and it's got a great little hold down that makes it really easy to put the battery in and out. Like I mentioned, it's a standard Dean's plug. Putting the battery in is as simple as setting it here, closing that little door, and turning the knob. Now, some of the other things that I wanted to point out here is that this is a fully brushless design. It's got a 390 sized motor with a fan mounted to it. You've got your speed control here, and you've got your separate receiver. A lot of these vehicles have the receiver and speed control built into one unit, which makes it a lot more difficult to upgrade. Plus, being a separate system, this uses a standard 3-wire servo, which again just makes it a lot easier if you have problems or if you want to do some upgrades. Now, overall, this chassis design really reminds me of like a mini Traxxas Slash. You can see it's got the honeycomb design, and it's got all of your other components mounted to the chassis. It's an extremely rigid chassis, and it really doesn't have a lot of flex. Additionally, these steering links look like they're extremely robust. Another great thing about this is that it comes with good oil-filled shocks. I really feel like this is going to be a pretty good handling vehicle because of that. In this price range, it's not uncommon to find these with just friction shocks. Another thing I noticed right away is that it's got some really beefy construction. It's got a steel drive shaft down in the middle. It's got steel drive shafts at every corner with CVDs on the front end, and an overall design that just seems like it's going to be pretty sturdy. Some of these other vehicles in this price range, like that WL Toys buggy that I just reviewed a couple of months ago, aren't built as beefy as this. But that WL Toys vehicle did end up proving to be a pretty reliable vehicle. With this one built the way it is, I'm hoping it's going to be even more reliable. So not only do you get the 2 batteries in this package, but it actually comes with 2 USB chargers. So that way you can be charging both batteries at once too. Now, one thing it doesn't come with is the actual USB outlet, but we've all got a million of these. The remote looks like pretty standard fare. It's a little bit on the smaller side, so it should work with a wide range of hand sizes from kids to adults. And it's got a nice comfortable grip. I have medium-sized hands, and they're maybe a little bit big for it, but the nice thing about it is that I can work it one-handed. Another nice thing about this is that there's 2 on modes with this. You have off, then you have the first on mode, which provides you with 70% power, and then the other on mode with full power. Additionally, you have this 3rd channel on the remote, which is how you turn this front light on and off. The other stuff that comes in the package are your usual tools, including the screwdriver and the wheel wrench, and it even comes with this cool LiPo charging bag. That's another thing I haven't seen in any other RCs. The manual's pretty standard here. It's really thick, but that's because it's in about 75 different languages. But if you're new to RC, you're going to want to make sure you go through this, read it over, and the best thing is in the back, it's got all of your exploded diagrams, so that if you need to put this thing back together or if you need parts, you're going to get all the information you need, including part numbers. This vehicle comes with 2 2S batteries, but it's also 3S compatible. So I asked Bezgar to send me the 3S battery also. So that way we're going to get to try it out on 2S and on 3S. Now, one thing I did notice with these batteries is that the 2S batteries and the 3S batteries look exactly the same. The only way you're going to tell them apart is to read the top where it says 3S on this battery. And if you look at the balance plug on the batteries, it's obviously a little bit different to accommodate that extra cell. Likewise, the 3S battery comes with its own charger, which looks exactly the same as the 2S charger. But fortunately, since these come with that different sized balance plug, you're not going to be able to use the wrong charger. So that's good. Now, getting back to the battery design, like I'd said, I'm not usually a fan of proprietary battery styles, but because this does use a standard Dean's connector, you are going to be able to use other batteries. Obviously, this one's an XT60 plug, but this is a generic 2S battery that actually comes, in most cases, with a Dean's plug, and it should fit right in here. So this style of battery will fit in here. The only problem is that you can't close this door. If you trim this piece of this cover down, I think it'll close just fine. Obviously, if you do that, you're not going to be able to go back to these batteries. But you may be able to just get yourself another one of these covers and then trim it, and then you can swap out that cover. But at least you do have options if you end up needing another battery and you can't find one of these. But I do like the fact that it comes with 2 of these guys, so hopefully that'll keep you going anyway. So one more thing I want to show is that once we get this guy all plugged in, we get it turned on. And like I said, if we push this 3rd button on our remote, we've got our LED light up front, which is a nice bright LED. Another thing I noticed with this is that the steering servo seems to be a pretty quick servo. Obviously, it's fully proportional, but if I go back and forth, for an RTR, that's a pretty quick responsive servo. And because it's 3-wire, if you wanted to upgrade it, it's a piece of cake. So now the next thing I want to do is get the body back on this thing, and I want to go take it for a drive. I'm dying to see how this performs, not only on 2S, but on 3S as well. So let's go do that, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. All right, this is 70% power. Tires are not real grippy. It's a little bit hard to control, but goes pretty straight. Handles the bumps well. Okay, now we're 100% on 2S. Lots of power, a little bit, maybe even too much power for this surface. Here it comes. Definitely lots of power on 2S. A little bit hard to control. See how this does on some hills. You bet. Oh! Ha! Alright, this is 3S at 70% on the throttle. And wheelies on dirt. Ease into it. Oh boy. Ease into it. Hard to control. I'm sure on pavement this would be a lot easier. Ease into it. Full throttle. Hard to control on dirt, and I'm only at 70%. Alright, 70% on 3S. I'm going to ease into the throttle. If I can. Ease into it. You can't control this. Full throttle. 3S, 70%. Alright, this is 3S on full power. This is stupid power. This is, I can't control it power. When in doubt, throttle it out. I can't control it. am not touching the steering at all when it's doing that.
That was good. You should practice to come over here. You're doing good. Like right when it gets like right there, then I'll put it down. I'm good at this. You're getting better. Yeah. I'm just gonna swap this system. I need to do like a behind the scenes.
Yeah, that was sweet.
You just literally missed. Now, you need to add some bloopers like those ones where you just completely missed. Can you?
Yep.
Yay.
Nice job. Keep going.
Let's take it for wear and tear. It's like on a little stand that can have that.
What?
Can I use it after? What? Once you're done filming the shot? Can you go for a night down?
Perfect. Sure. All right, so now we're back. We ran this for quite a bit, ran a few packs through it, and I got a whole bunch of footage that hopefully came out pretty good. I'm still learning my 360 camera, not quite sure what I'm doing with it yet. I just don't know how that footage came out. Hopefully you guys just watched some really good footage and got an idea for yourself about how this vehicle worked. But now I want to give you some feedback. Overall, I ran both 2S packs through it, and I ran a little bit of the 3S pack. At 70% power on 2S, I felt like this vehicle was really controllable, and for a beginner or someone that's just starting to get used to controlling this type of RC, I think it would work well. When you move up to 100% on the controller with 2S, I really felt like this vehicle came into its own. It had a lot of power, it would pull wheelies, but it was still completely controllable on those looser dirt surfaces. With the 3S battery that I asked them to give me, honestly, it's too much. I understand now why they're offering these with the 2S batteries instead of the single 3S that the older version used to come with. The 3S battery is just too much. Even as a person with a lot of RC driving experience, I couldn't control it. Even on the pavement, it just pretty much went everywhere. Unless you have a big, wide open, high traction area to drive this, I just don't see the value in 3S. And in fact, you would end up crashing so much and having controllability issues, I would consider a big negative. I went back to the 2S battery because it was just way more fun on the surfaces I was on. And frankly, if you've got big, wide open, high traction surfaces, there's probably a different vehicle that's more appropriate anyway. This thing is great for jumps and banging around in dirt and all the areas that hopefully you get to see in my footage. It was a ton of fun. As you can see from the footage, we had a ton of crashes, and the only damage that we had was that we lost 2 of the 4 body clips. When we went out, I noticed that these body clips fit really loosely, and so I took some pliers and tweaked them a little bit to make them fit tighter, and we still lost 2 of them. Honestly, these body clips are about the thinnest body clips I've come across, and I think that's why they fit so loosely. But body clips are cheap. You've probably got a million of them anyway. If this is your first time getting an RC and you don't have more of these body clips, that's definitely something you're going to want to invest in. Otherwise, you're going to be driving this without a body in no time. So, getting back to how this did. I thought that the handling was really good for such a small vehicle. With a lot of these small vehicles, it becomes a compromise, and it's why I'm usually an advocate for the larger 10th scale vehicles, even for beginners. You're a little bit limited in where you can use it because you're not going to be driving this over big rocks and things like that. In fact, the first place that we went to use this, the terrain was just too aggressive and the vehicle just couldn't do it. So we had to find a little bit different location, which was still bumpy and had plenty of terrain for us to use, but it was a little bit scaled down. There weren't big rocks that were going to end up jamming this thing up like we had in the first place we went. But compared to some of the smaller 24th scale RCs that I've reviewed in the past, the wheelbase is a little bit longer, and this just ended up being more controllable. But unlike some of the smaller vehicles I've reviewed in the past, this one's got just a little bit more wheelbase, and it's got a great suspension with the oil-filled shocks and enough weight for it to really be able to use those shocks. As a result, this really felt planted, and on 2S, I felt like it was really very controllable. Again, 3S, I just feel was too much power for this vehicle. Now, you may be able to gear the vehicle down and make that 3S a little bit more manageable, but I just really don't see the purpose. It already comes with 2 2S batteries, and it comes with 2 chargers. So when you're done for the day, you can charge them both at the same time so that you're ready to go to use it again. And even if you're out and about, because it's a USB charger, you can have one of these charging in the car while you're using the other one. I don't know, as much as I kind of want to complain about these USB chargers, they have value on these smaller vehicles. Absolutely useless and terrible on full-size RC batteries because they just can't charge them fast enough. But these are just over 1,000 milliamp hours, and the charging didn't seem to take all that long. I didn't time it, but I think it was under an hour to charge these. But because these are just a normal Dean style plug with a normal balance port, you can use your other chargers for these to go ahead and charge them up. Just like you can go ahead and put a different battery in the vehicle if you want longer run times. So the last thing I wanted to address was the durability. We put both 2S packs through this, and we spent a little bit of time on 3S. Hopefully you can see from the footage that we ran it into a bunch of different situations. We crashed it a bunch, especially at the skate park, and honestly we kind of beat the hell out of it. And we broke nothing. We lost 2 body clips, but I did find one at the skate park, so we're only down 1 body clip. And both myself and my daughter used this, and she told me over and over that she was having a blast. And she doesn't generally do the bashing RC thing with me. So for her to have had that much fun and she just wanted to keep driving it, I really think was a testament to how good this vehicle was. And these things sell for about 150, 160 bucks. I don't see how you can go wrong. But I do have a discount code that I'm going to link down below along with my affiliate link. That way, if you want to get one of these, it's only going to cost you about 130 bucks. And honestly, it's a no-brainer at that price. This thing is a ton of fun, it's cheap, and it's been super durable so far. It is an affiliate link, so if you hate me or you hate affiliate links, you can just go right to Bezgar's website directly without clicking the link. You can still use the discount code and get it for the same amount of money. Now, the cool thing about this is that at least my version shipped from Ohio. This didn't come from China or somewhere that takes a month to get here. This thing only took about 4 or 5 days to get to me. If you buy this on eBay or one of the rebranded equivalents on eBay, you're going to spend about the same amount of money, but it's going to come from China. It's going to take a long time to get here. So why not just get this one? Well, guys, that's it from me. I was honestly surprised by this. When Bezgar reached out to me, I looked up the vehicle, looked into it a little bit to decide if I wanted to review it or not. Even though I love to review budget gear, I don't want to review cheap junk because you're not going to want to buy it, and I don't want to use it myself. So I did my homework, and overall, this ended up looking pretty promising. So I decided to go ahead and review it. And that decision really paid off. This thing exceeded my expectations. I really like it. I'm going to keep using it. Between this and my new TRX 4M crawler that I just bought, I kind of miniaturized my vehicles, and so far I'm not regretting that. So I think you guys are going to see more of this on the channel. Not only do I hope to get some footage when I bring it with me on vacation, but I'd like to start doing something else with this. Maybe try a different body. I don't know. I was going to say do some upgrades, but there's nothing I really want to upgrade. It's a ton of fun like it is. So anyway, guys, links below. I hope you liked this. If you do, do me a solid, like, subscribe, all that crap. Watch more of my videos. That's the best thing you can do for this channel. That's it. I'm out. Thanks.